by and large, the explanation people are getting from the ETs themselves, that this has to do with health.
I think they are doing one big research on planet Earth.
Are they looking to evoke fear? There is an aspect of experimentation that's going on here.
Stories about alien implants and physical marks have been around for decades.
The idea of alien implants began as a common motif in popular culture in the 1950s. There's a lot of contemporary fears about being watched. An alien implant seems like a logical extension from the way that our modern surveillance society operates.
The question is why? Why would these seemingly normal people be chosen as unwitting guinea pigs in bizarre alien experiments? Ufologists have noticed some patterns that have emerged among the chosen few.
People who are doing good work for humanity in some capacity are often more likely to have contact.
As could be the case for Sev Tak, a spiritual counselor facing her own demons after an encounter that leaves her marked in more ways than one.
Experiencers often have triangles, circles, in Seb's case, an X.
What is curious to me is the fact that these are not just random asymmetrical dots arbitrarily around the body.
I can't describe to you what it feels like when your reality completely flips.
This phenomena does follow families. If you are having encounters, it's very likely your parents or your grandparents are also having encounters.
I saw a UFO outside my window when I was age 11. It wasn't a dream, I know what I saw.
My first conscious memories of having ET contact was when I was 10 years old. I lost count of how many times it happened.
Like Sev and Terry, the villagers of Colaris are no strangers to UFO sightings. And 20 years after their violent, unexplainable encounters, a now retired general has a shocking truth to tell.
It was time for him to face what was going on.
He called me, he said, "Now I am retired and I can talk to you. I'll tell you everything you want to know."
Physical violation by unknown, possibly extraterrestrial creatures leaves evidence. And this evidence may even reveal the truth behind these encounters.
The doctor said that absolutely does not belong in your body.
When I go to sleep at night, am I out there talking to ETs?
Once you are chosen, you're part of the experiment for life.
The Colaris Island UFO mystery gets more bizarre 20 years after the initial events, when A.J. Javard meets the retired head of the military operation.
He reported to us amazing stories. They saw a huge cylinder-like object. All of a sudden, a small door was open, and an alien came out of it, floating. He approached Hollande and his men. After a few minutes, the alien floated back to the top of his huge spaceship, and the object went away.
You want to talk about irrefutable evidence that something strange was going on. This is one of those cases.
The incredible testimony from the general sent an unstoppable ripple of excitement and a call to action through the ufology community.
Brazil was the first country in the world to officially recognize the existence of UFOs. Other military decided to come forward too. It created an environment that reached other countries of South America. I started interviewing people in Argentina, Chile, Peru, Paraguay.
Individuals in certain rank and file, particularly in the military, lend instant credibility by virtue of what they do. But the irony is that Typically, very few of those sorts of people will come forward because they're concerned about losing that credibility.
Despite official acknowledgement and the release of once secret materials from the Brazilian Air Force, most of the collected evidence is still highly guarded.
The best photos and films has never surfaced. I'll never stop asking the military to come forward with this material.
I'm glad some of the files were able to finally see the light of day. It's important for these people of Colaris. They went through hell there. They deserved answers.
Back in America, Terry Lovelace has intimidating and threatening run-ins with the military after his terrifying ordeal.
I was interviewed by the Office of Special Investigations. It was theater done to intimidate me, and they succeeded because I was scared to death.
If I come out, is the government going to come after me? We hear so many stories about people who come out and then there's a knock on their door, or they get really menacing phone calls. And I was afraid that was going to happen to me.
These fears of being ridiculed, bullied, or worse leave experiencers grappling with the very real trauma of their troubling encounters alone.
So many of us are having experiences, but we're not saying anything. We're just bottling it up, and this is not healthy for our lives.
I believed in UFOs and extraterrestrial beings. Yes, these things are real.
Why Brazil? Why blood? Why those people? We don't have those answers. Melinda had the feeling that whoever those beings are, they are extracting blood from people to create a vaccine that could immunize them to this planet.
There's not one culture historically that has not been touched by this phenomenon.
What is absolutely mind-blowing is individuals from around the world reporting the same thing.
The whole world is not delusional. Something real and physical is happening to these people.
And the personal impact shakes them to their very core.
For a long time, I felt anger, and I realized I'm going to tell the world about this. I think that would be best for my mental health.
All of the experiences that I've been having since childhood are real. For the first time in my life, I declared that I cannot deal with this alone. A few weeks later, I declared I'm writing a book and I'm coming out.
These life-altering encounters push us towards incredibly difficult and terrifying realizations.
We're not at the top of the food chain. Whatever these things are, the one that I locked eyes with, I can say this, he's 500 rungs up the evolutionary ladder from where I'm at.
Physical contact by possibly extraterrestrial creatures leaves visible and invisible scars, and happens more often than most imagine.
We're talking about millions of people around the world who report some sort of contact experience.
These events really do take place.
The more people who stand up and say, this happened to me, the less we'll be able to ignore it.
I think just by virtue of telling these stories, more people are going to have recognition. Take your foot off the gas pedal of opinion and listen.
And the truth is not easy.
I felt like I was divulging some kind of family secret. That was a hard obstacle to get over.
My particular path included the ETs, and I had to face it. I hear from experiencers, and I help them process what's happening to them, because this is not a mistake.
This is a pattern I see over and over again. What can start out as very negative turns 180 degrees.
I get emails from all over the world. They tell me these amazing stories, and I write them back and say, I understand. You're not alone. That's validation, that's comfort in numbers.
And for those most intimately affected, the meaning of these encounters has changed over time.
The flash burns and the sunburn, the dehydration, I think those were all collateral damage. I don't think that The object of the exercise was to torture me.
They were actually helping me.
But not everyone is left believing the ETs had good intentions.
Was it intentional? Of course it was. They didn't care at all for the victims.
Not all ETs are going to be our space brothers. Perhaps this is a good example of the type of ETs you do not want to run into. Ones who are ruthless, ones who are not compassionate, and who will go so far as to cause death among people who get too close.
These events are being taken seriously and studied, looking for answers that may help individuals and ultimately our entire species.
There are certain studies being done right now measuring the brain of individuals who have had contact experiences.
Perhaps we will find other civilizations that are more advanced or equally advanced or less advanced than the human race.
I personally believe that communicating with ETs and accepting them and learning from them is how we're going to find individual and collective peace on this planet.